to make another video and reach out to you and talk about a few things today. First of all, we are overjoyed and just overcome by all of the support that you've shown us so far. The views of our first video and all the messages and encouragement have just meant a ton. And we want to start off by just saying thank you because this is outside of our comfort zone. We are excited about this, but at the same time a little terrified, and so or a lot terrified. So just to get all the positive feedback has been really neat, really special, and we just couldn't thank you enough. There were some questions and comments that kind of stuck out where we heard kind of multiple people ask the same sort of questions, and so we just wanted to address some of those today. So first of all, you want to say the first question?
Sure. Okay, so first thing that stuck out is, man, we're excited that y'all are going on the road again.
Yep.
And yes, we will some, but we found home base, and so we really love being at home in our little historic home here. And so what we're gonna do is we've got a trip planned per month kind of thing, and we'll share some of those with you. And so that's where the nomadish comes from, because we're a little home, but we're a little nomadish as well.
So we don't have plans right now to hit the road permanently again.
Right.
But we are certainly open to whatever the Lord leads us to do, whatever direction we feel called in. That's where we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. But for now, we've definitely got home base that we have set up here. It's a work in progress. It's a fun work in progress, a little challenging too. But we definitely have home base set up here, and we have some adventures planned that we're going to take you guys on. We want you to join us on that journey, and look forward to experiencing some of those coming up soon. So, did another question stick out, or anything stick out that you wanted to talk about?
What exactly are we doing? And
That's a
if
good
you
one.
didn't see the post, we just wanted to again just thank you for asking those questions, because that was our hope, that you would be intrigued with the first video and want to follow us along on whatever journey we're going down. So a big part of our life is homeschooling. Since the world has completely changed in the last few months, I'd love to help anyone just in their journey of homeschooling, just to encourage you. We've done this for 10 years, but it doesn't mean we're great at it. It doesn't mean we're perfect at it. It's every year is a new challenge and a new adventure. And so, but we like sharing those things, and definitely love encouraging moms and families along the way as well. So that's another big part of what we will be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, really, I think that we hope that this channel, this platform, this thing that we're doing just becomes a place of encouragement across the board. Tiff's right, homeschooling is huge for us. It's a huge part of what we do, but there are a lot of pieces that all come together to make up, what our family does, and maybe you're experiencing them too. Maybe there's some places where we can connect and we can encourage one another. So another question that has come up from quite a few people is why, right? Why would we do this? Why would we put ourselves out there? Why would we kind of open the door and let people in? And that's a fantastic question. That is one that we are asking ourselves, all the time as well. So what would you say? I've got an answer, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, it's hard. Why is a big question. I think just being real with each other, real with who we are, but to be people that just love you where you are. I think it should be all of our mission. There's a lot of stuff going on in our world, but we can be together in it. We are called to support one another where we are. There's a lot of hard stuff happening. We are called to support each other where we are. And we're not always going to agree. We don't always agree in our own home. But it's important that we are real. And if we can't show that emotion to each other out in the world right now, we've got to find a place to do that. We need to love on each other, and we need to see each other smile and know the emotions of all of it. Where are you? Where are we? So for me, I think everything, the journeys that the Lord has had us on, they all come together. They're all coming together for each of us in different ways right now, but they're all important. And each, if you're listening, if you're watching, if you're observing who we are, it's important that we all know that you've got somebody. And we want to be those people if you don't have someone.
Yeah. Okay, so my answer?
Yeah.
So my answer is, although not as good as your answer, my answer is we have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Is that we are flawed people. We do not have it all together. We have not figured everything out. We have real, honest to goodness struggles here. We have real, honest to goodness struggles with our children. As much as we love them, they are horribly flawed people too. And so.
And they're great kids.
And they're great kids, but we love each other in it. Yeah. We love each other with those flaws. Yeah. We give each other grace on grace on grace on grace. And so if we can do that for each other, right? Yeah. That's what we're supposed to do. Yeah. That's what we want to do for anyone, right? For anyone that we come into contact with, we want to love and encourage and show grace and kindness and support and compassion. And so if the best way for us to do that is to open our door and invite people in and be vulnerable, then bring it on. Yeah. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to be fun too. Yeah. It's going to hurt some, but man, I just hope that we have an opportunity to love and encourage people. Yeah. And so, why not? What do we have to hide?
Brian's a really great storyteller, so we'll have a lot of really funny. You have to be funny here too.
That's right.
Not all serious because
sure.
You know, Brian's funny, so we have to share that. But our kids will be a part of the videos too. It's not just the two of us. This is a family thing. We've got some that are more shy than others. You'll see different faces. It's not just our kids. We've got extended family that we do life very closely with. Yeah. We're hoping they'll come along and be a part of different things. But we just want to be a good encouragement, a light in each of your lives where you need it.
So over the last 3 years, we talked a lot about doing this sort of thing, about recording and sharing because it was different. We had a lot of people recommend that, and you know, we really considered it. But to be honest, we weren't in the best place to be able to do that. You know, and as much as we would love to say, oh, it's so great, you know, it was just nothing but fun and whatever. No, it was really hard. And some of it continues to be really hard. Yeah. And so, you know, we just weren't a good place to do that. But this thought was kind of always in the back of our minds. You know, what if we start recording and sharing, right? Yeah. So what can you expect to see from us? So I think the good, the bad, and the ugly. There are going to be times when we're laughing. There are going to be times when people are crying. I don't cry because I'm a man, but actually I cry more than anybody. There's going to be struggles, you know, where,
Truth.
take you on the road with us. You can, you know, we plan on showing you what we do when we're camping and when we're going to different
All the
destinations and
mess ups that Brian has when he's putting the camper, or even just driving the
Yes.
camper.
so
I mean,
that actually.
Those are the things that we didn't want to record before, but you know what? They're funny now. So
Can we talk about it now?
why not?
So we'll have one story, all right? Just
one?
just the big one.
The topper,
Yeah, literally.
literally.
So, quick story to wrap up this video. Our first really big road trip, my cousin was getting married in Indianapolis, and we wanted to drive the camper to Indianapolis, from East Texas to Indianapolis, to attend the wedding and be there with family and all of that stuff. So we in the fall, yes, it
It was
was.
getting cold.
It was October,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. It's important to point out up front that it was getting cold, especially when we went up north. So we set out on the road and on a Friday, and in the evening, well, we had a bit of an issue with the generator, I think, and so we stopped in Little Rock, I want to say, and kind of had it checked out and everything, and figured out what was going on, and then we got back on the road. And Tiffany was saying, well, why don't we just stay? You know, there's plenty of places to stay in Little Rock. We don't have to make it further.
Before the sun goes
I can admit this now. Before the sun goes down, you know, let's just find a place to eat and camp and all of that stuff. But I will admit, I wanted to push further. My parents were actually on the
They
road.
had made it further than
My
we
parents
had
had made
at
it
this
further.
point.
Yes, they had made it further than us.
It's like a race.
It somewhat
To
was.
Indianapolis. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, you're right. A race to
A race,
Indianapolis.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point. That's a good point. I might have a bit of a competitive nature about me.
A little bit.
And so I wanted to at least make it as far as my parents did. And my parents had already told us where they were stopping for the night.
Right.
So I pushed us on further. About midnight,
Really wanted to see your mommy.
my mommy's a saint. I did want to see my mommy. But about midnight, we pull into the gas station that literally was across the road from the hotel that my parents were staying
It was
in.
super dark outside.
It was super dark. There wasn't a good place for us to camp right there, so we
All
just
the children were asleep.
Is this my story or is this?
It's ours.
It's ours.
It's
Okay.
our life.
All right. So pull in to get gas. All of the kids were asleep.
It's very important details.
It is important. All the kids were asleep. And I thought the gas station was kind of sketchy. I thought I'm gonna pull out of the gas station and into a parking lot.
Where you were wrong.
It's where I was wrong, under the lights, and then figure out a good place to camp. So what I saw when I pulled into the parking lot was the bar, the barrier that keeps semi trucks from pulling in, that said 12 feet, which we only need 11 feet 2 inches. That is an important number for anyone who has a camper or is maybe living in a camper like we were.
Well, no.
Yes.
After that.
It is important to know how tall, what kind of clearance you need. We need 11 feet 2 inches. So it said 12 feet on the top bar. It said 10 feet on the pipe that hung from chains below the top bar. I did not see the pipe that hung from chains. It said 10 feet on it
Right.
until it was right up on us, and I drove under it, and it bounced.
Like a person running down the back, running down the top, front
Yes.
to back.
Yes. So a pipe bounced on the top of our rolling house as I drove under it, woke everybody up, freaked everybody out, freaked me out because I had just made a huge mistake and didn't know how to handle it. This is our first one. And so none of us knew how to
We
handle it.
did not handle it the right way.
So I get out to check on everything. I kind of look up on top. Everything is still on the top. So I was like, oh, thank God. We're fine. Tiffany's upset, and she said something, you know, I don't know what.
You said, it's fine, everything's fine.
I thought it was. I
Yeah.
thought it was fine. It was not fine.
It wasn't
It was
fine.
not fine. So we went to get back on the highway,
Right.
and the shroud which is the covering that goes over the air conditioning unit,
Right off of that
blew
thing.
off. Yes, and so all of a sudden there's a whoosh sound, which is putting it lightly.
And the children are like, "Mommy, there's dirt coming in from the roof,
Yeah,
from the top of the motorhome."
yeah,
It wasn't our best. It was not our finest hour.
that's correct.
It was our least finest hour.
Yes. Yep.
It's bad.
So we pull over at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Take this road through a cornfield. There was a high school that we found. It was Friday night, football season. So there were lights on and buses had pulled back in. So we pulled to this parking lot and I climbed up on top to see what was going on. And as I saw Tiffany standing on the parking
Might
lot
have
below,
hoped that he would fall off. the
I
top
knew
of it.
she was hoping I'd fall
Which
off.
is the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So-
didn't want you to. I really and honestly didn't want you to fall off of it. But in that moment, I wanted to hurt you.
Yeah.
Because you broke our house.
I did. I broke our house, and I could see I could see our children looking up at
Hi,
me
Daddy.
from the roof.
So sad.
So we did what any of you would do in this kind of situation. We found the absolute worst RV park that we could find, where we were pretty sure we were going to die, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we camped there. So I thought
Under
under the
moonlit
stars, yes,
sky,
with cold air
coming
rushing in.
straight in.
Yes,
Lots of good blankets, thankfully.
yes. So I thought I had seen Tiffany mad before. I had not.
I don't think I've ever been mad like that before.
Yes, I that night I saw Tiffany. I saw the full
Go ahead.
the
say
full
it.
force of Tiffany's
What were
yeah.
you gonna say there?
5 feet 2 inches of fury. So,
But I do feel like a child.
but
As it is
good
all day.
came from it, right?
Yes.
The next day, what happened?
I got on my phone. I searched for a place that.
Because we were like driving across Indiana, right?
Yeah,
Or
this time he
Illinois.
listened to me.
I did.
And
It's
I
important.
directed him to a place. God directed us to a place. He was trying to save our marriage. And this place was like a mom and pop
Yeah,
mechanic place. Like they worked on motorhomes.
yeah,
And the guy came walking out when we drove it the drive to this place and said, "Did you lose your shroud?"
yeah.
And fixed this right up. They only had one in
Yeah.
their shop. You put it on there.
Yep.
Okay, so look down the road a year and a half.
Well, that was a good thing.
Oh,
right?
it's
That
great.
was-
The
yeah.
wedding was beautiful.
The wedding
we
was
drove
amazing.
we drove our motorhome to the wedding, but we have amazing family,
Yes.
and they thought it was pretty cool. They got tours. Thank y'all so much for loving us.
Yes. Travis and
Travis and Greta.
Greta's wedding was in an apple orchard.
It was beautiful.
It was incredible,
Yes.
and the motorhome didn't ruin any of that.
No,
found a
we
good
parked
place to
it
park.
way close to the street.
But
so.
as overall learning experience, marriage testing event.
Yeah.
But very positive. Just
So
yeah.
look a year and a half down the road. We've lived in this thing through a winter, and we're having to do a few things to the motorhome, just wear and tear kind of thing. We take it to the shop because the air conditioning is not staying cool.
Yeah.
The motorhome's not staying cool. We find out that inside that shroud is a piece of insulation.
Yeah.
That we did not have.
Right.
So we have literally lived through all the seasons going, what is wrong with this thing? It's just
Why are
a
we
motorhome.
freezing in the winter?
You
Why
know,
are
we shouldn't be
sweating
living
through
in
the
it
summer?
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
no, we're just missing
Yeah.
a piece of insulation.
So
It helps so much.
it's a key
It's
part.
it's a life
a
changer.
key part of keeping you cool or
Yeah.
warm. Yes.
Yeah, it's so true.
So when I took it in to have the AC worked on, the guy that was helping us, he said, "Mr. Ingram, I don't know how to tell you this, but you've kind of been robbed." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "We took the shroud off of the AC and there was no insulation in there." And I said, "What, really?" And he goes, The only explanation I can think of is that someone got up on top of there and took the shroud off and took that out. And I don't know who would do that, but how else would it come out? And I was like, I don't know. That's crazy. I can't. There's some sort of insulation bandit running
You
around.
could have told him the real story.
Yes, but I was not going to do that.
Pride got in the way
So-
and didn't let you.
Right. So yeah. So we never caught the insulation bandit, but we did get the insulation replaced.
It was you.
Yeah. So
There are
yeah.
things that you don't know, but we're learning.
So that was in the first 2 months of having it, and
So if that happens,
Yeah.
just call us.
Yeah.
We'll tell you where to go
yeah, not a problem.
and get the insulation for sure.
All right. Well,
Deal.
look for posts from us coming up soon and more videos. We can't wait to make content and put it out.
I think
And
next
so,
time we'll give you a loadout tour of how we
Yeah.
get ready to go on the road.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
lots
fun.
of you probably already know how to do that, but you'll watch us fumble
Yeah.
through it.
So should be comical.
Always.
Yeah. So all right. Feel free to message us, reach out, ask questions,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. We would love to hear from you. If there's anything that we can pray for you about, then definitely let us know. We would love to do that, even if it's just hey, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Right? We want to help and encourage however we can. So love you guys. And hope to hear from you soon.
See you next time.